Hello and welcome, I'm Sonic Guru, and welcome to another episode of Blue Blur. This time we're changing zones and taking a look at the beta for Sonic the Hedgehog CD. Sonic the Hedgehog CD was released in September 1993 for the Sega Mega CD in Japan, October for Europe, and November for the Sega CD in the United States. It was directed by Naruto Oshima and was developed separately in Japan, unlike Sonic the Hedgehog's direct sequels, which were created in the United States with the Sega Technical Institute. The game is most famously known for the introduction of Amy Rose and Metal Sonic. In preparation for the launch of their new console add-on, the Mega CD, Sega Japan wanted some sort of Sonic title on the console, hoping its premier franchise would cause the new technology to be a success. At first, the company considered simply to develop an enhanced version of either Sonic 1 or the upcoming Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as a practice for the system add-on. For some reason, however, it was decided that instead of porting an existing title, a new entry in the Sonic series would be developed from the ground up, which could take full advantage of the capabilities of the Mega CD. When it was announced, many gaming magazines at the time reported that the upcoming CD-based Sonic game would be a port of Sonic 2. This was not the case. As Oshima would recount, Sonic CD wasn't Sonic 2. It was really meant to be more of a CD version of the original Sonic. I can't help but wonder, therefore, if we had more fun making CD than they did making Sonic 2, because we didn't have the pressure of making a numbered sequel. Oshima contacted Yuji Naka and other members of the Sega Technical Institute during the initial planning stages, where both teams exchanged information about what the other wanted to do. It was during these early moments that Sonic CD started to take shape. Although the Sonic 2 team briefly considered the idea of time travel as a play mechanic, Oshima fully embraced the concept, likening the idea of the world around Sonic changing, similar to the instantaneous time travel movement from Back to the Future. Unfortunately, limited programming restricted this to a loading screen. Sonic CD had a lengthy development with many changes and alterations made. Thanks to a group of fans, 4 beta prototypes have found their way online. The earliest of which is Build 510 from May 1992. The differences start before the title screen with a 3D Sega logo while the Sega sound plays. The title screen is very different with the Sega logo attached to the ring and gold, and with the working title CD Sonic the Hedgehog displayed on the ribbon. Also appearing is a credit for Keiko Yutoko, the singer of the Japanese and European opening theme You Can Do Anything. Letting the game play a demo of the special stage displays the message, "The programmer has a nap, hold out programmer." During gameplay, Sonic sports a different appearance on the goalpost and Amy has larger eyes and quills. Prototype featured 3 additional power-ups: the S monitor, which increases Sonic's speed and has an invincibility shield, the blue ring monitor, which functions identical to the S monitor, and the clock monitor. It does not work correctly, but it's assumed that the role is to freeze time for a few seconds. Finally, the Zone 1 boss is slightly different with pincers instead of bounce shields, as completing all 3 acts coming soon is displayed. A level select code can be entered to play the rest of the levels, each having minor differences in the final game. Though the soundtrack remains mostly identical to the final game, with the exception of the past music tracks as they've yet to be implemented, there are some differences. The title screen or Tamatank music is almost completely different in the prototype, with no resemblance to the song You Can Do Anything. The Speed Shoes has a different remix of the theme song. And finally, the sound clip for Traveling Through Time was changed drastically. The second beta is 712. The title screen is closer to the final version, with many elements from 510 remaining within the game, but with subtle differences such as the blue ring monitor acting as a shield with extra hits. The special stage demo that plays while waiting at the title screen is playable, but not fully finished as the oil slick is present but doesn't affect Sonic in play. Beta 806 is a near final build. This was released in stores as a demo CD in Japan. Unlike other prototypes, the disc comes complete with cover art. The demo has a limited amount of levels playable, but this can be circumvented with a level select code. The final beta, 920, was found to be the final US version of the game, but with the original soundtrack that was used in the Japanese and European versions of the game. When it came to localizing the game for America, almost the entire soundtrack was redone by Spencer Nielsen, because the Sega of America thought the soundtrack for the Japanese and European versions sounded too identical to the electronic dance soundtracks being produced at the time, so the American soundtrack has a more rock feel. One example of this is the theme song. Instead of You Can Do Anything, the American version has Sonic Boom. The only songs that weren't altered were the past themes and some being repurposed, such as the theme for Little Planet being used for the Time Attack menu. In 1996, Sonic CD was ported to the PC. Among the most noteworthy changes of this version was that a longer version of the FMV animated intro sequence is available. There is also a number of differences between the Mega CD and PC port, such as a faster special stage and loading screens showing Little Planet from DA Garden. This port was later used in the compilation disc Sonic Gems Collection, with some enhancements and missing effects, such as having transparent water in Tidal Tempest. In 2011, Sonic CD was remastered by Christian Whitehead, also known as the Taxman on Sonic Retro, and was built from scratch using his proprietary Retro engine and was released digitally on multiple platforms including PSN and Xbox Live. This version has many new features such as sharper graphics, both US and Japanese soundtracks, a choice between the original CD or Sonic 2 style Spin Dash, and Tails as a playable character. There are also other changes such as new sound effects and smoother animations. This remastered port also has its own piece of beta information. Entering the code PCM32DA8 on the sound test briefly shows a mock-up image of Desert Dazzle, a stage that was once planned for the remake. Taxman unveils some unused Bandic and Robotnik sprites for a zone called R2. R2 is a missing level from the original Sonic CD and is believed to be set after Palm Tree Panic, as it is coded R1, and Collision Chaos is R3. A brief clip in the extended animation shows what the zone could have looked like. Desert Dazzle was set to replace R2, but was cut so the game didn't stray too far from its original form. Though it had a vastly different development compared to Sonic's numbered sequels, both the Mega CD and its 2011 re-release went on to receive critical acclaim as one of the best games of the platform and is regarded as one of the best 2D Sonic titles of all time. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share with your friends, and subscribe for future videos. You can also support the show and channel over on Patreon, and if you've got a suggestion for the show, be it Sonic Lore, Sonic Facts, or Sonic Game Betas, leave a suggestion in the comments below.